What's up, guys? This is the ultimate Minecraft Iceberg, explained in I don't know how long. This is gonna take a while. This was made by uprobot748 on Reddit. It has 314 entries. I cut the first 2 layers off because they are really, how do I say this? You probably already know the stuff that's on there, by the way. I got my good friend Tekonat5 to cover some. I think he has like 10 to 15 entries. Sit back, put this thing on your second monitor and play, I don't know, Minecraft while you listen to this. And I hope you will enjoy. Layer 1. Snapshot 20W14. This is a joke snapshot released on April Fool's Day of 2020. It adds 2,147,483,100,647 randomized dimensions that can be accessed by throwing a book with anything written on it into a nether portal. In addition, there's also 44 ESEC dimensions. Good luck exploring all of those. It's like No Man's Sky. Minecraft Plus. This is a screensaver collection for Windows announced by Mojang on April Fool's Day 2021. It features Minecraft-themed versions of old screensavers Windows computers used to come with. Minecraft 3D. This was a joke version of Minecraft for April Fool's Day 2019, and the most notable changes were default retro shaders, exploding barrels, cheat codes, and mobs being rendered in 2D. Dimension layers. Though it's never actually shown in the game, many fans speculate that the Nether exists below the overworld due to its hellish feel and the existence of the Nether ceiling, while the end is above it due to its space theme. In fact, the official Minecraft World Beyond poster art puts the end above the overworld and the Nether at the bottom. Infiniminer inspiration. Infiniminer was an open source sandbox game released on April 29, 2009. I remember playing that game, which inspired Notch to create his own version about a month later. In the description for one of Notch's early videos released on his old channel, he showed a bare bones version of Minecraft. Back then it was called Cave Game. He writes that this is a very early test version of an Infiniminer clone I'm working on. Do people nowadays even know what Infiniminer is? It's like, it's been so long. Ancient builders. This is a grand overarching theory that starts with an ancient civilization of builders, once populating the overworld and subsequently other dimensions. Natural structures found throughout the game are chalked up primarily to the work of these ancient builders, who sought to conquer every corner of the world and build elaborate buildings as a display of their prowess. Feeding parrots cookies. When parrots were first added to the game, they were attracted to cookies, as a reference to the famous Polly wants a cracker saying. In reality, chocolate is toxic to parrots. The cookie feeding mechanic was changed a few months later, such that feeding one to a parrot would instantly kill it. Secret igloo basements. 50% of all igloos have a trapdoor leading to a dungeon, where a tutorial for its zombie villager conversion can be found. Herobrine is Notch's brother. This is a popular theory for Herobrine that he's actually not just that brother, which is somehow embedded into the game. The theory originated as a result of the anonymous creator of the original Herobrine creepypasta claiming to have found this information from an interview with Notch himself. In reality, Notch never had a brother, so make of that as you will. Nether reactor. Before Pocket Edition had an actual Nether, you had to create a structure called a Nether reactor to generate a Nether spire. Inside, there were several Nether-related blocks as well as zombie pigmen and a glowing obsidian. It also spawned various items. I don't remember that thing. Zoglin, a variant of the Hoglin that's created when it enters a dimension other than the Nether. Zoglins attack any entity, including armor stands, though with the exception of creepers and other Zoglins. Sand speeds up sugarcanes. Even though some believe that sugarcane grows faster than sand, it actually grows at the same speed regardless of what block it's planted on. I did not know that. I feel like a dumbass now. Education Edition. A version of Minecraft initially released on November 1st, 2016 and intended for educational use, containing features not present in the Java or Bedrock versions. There's cameras, chalkboards, elements, programmable agents, and more. Several features intended to be exclusive to Education Edition were accidentally added into Pocket Edition, however they were removed shortly after. Ores near gravel. Many people have reported seeing ores generate more frequently near pockets of gravel, and even dirt. The most likely explanation for this, however, is that since gravel sticks out amongst stone, one might be more likely to clear out a pocket of gravel rather than any random patch of stone. Hermaphrodite mobs. Minecraft animals often have traits from both sexes in the same texture. Cows have horns and udders. Chickens have red walls like a rooster but lay eggs like a hen. Steve was also supposed to be a generous human, even though their skin has a beard, and Alex was later as a female variant to Steve, so. Abandoned villages. In Java Edition, abandoned villages, aka zombie villages, have a 2% chance of generating, with cobwebs, missing doors, and zombie villages in the place of actual ones, rubies. In the snapshot of 1.3.1, emeralds were originally intended to be rubies. However, it was changed to a green or emerald texture due to possibilities of rubies and redstone being too similar in appearance. Nether portals were made for Enderman. Nether portals are 3 blocks high, and one of the only 3 block high mobs in the game is the Enderman. Since Endermen have a black and purple color scheme, as well as a habit of teleporting around the place, it makes sense that Nether portals were originally designed for them to use. It could also explain why the Warp Forest has so many of them. Enchantment font. The font used for the enchanting table is the standard galactic alphabet, but the actual phrases are complete nonsense. 10-year anniversary event. To celebrate Minecraft's 10-year anniversary on May 17th, 2019, Mojang released a web browser version of Minecraft Classic, gave discounts to modern Minecraft editions, as well as the top 10 items on the marketplace. Additionally, from May 17th to May 20th, Cakes had the number 10 place on top in celebration. Mob lighting conversion. When struck by lightning, villagers will become witches, creepers become charged creepers, pigs become zombified piglings, and mushrooms switch between red and brown. Skeleton horse traps. An event that can rarely happen during thunderstorms. At first, only a single skeleton horse is spawned, but upon getting closer, lightning strikes the horse, and 4 skeleton horsemen are summoned. Swamp jungle villagers. Even though the jungle and swamp villagers don't generate naturally, villagers have their own special skins for those biomes, which can only be seen via spawn eggs. Illusioners. An unused illager that can only be spawned with the summon command. It uses a bow to attack, but can also use 2 spells, one that binds the player and one that spawns multiple false duplicates of itself. Secret languages. The languages menu of Minecraft has 6 Easter egg languages: Pirate Speak, Lolcat, Shakespearean English, Anglish, Australian, and pre-revolutionary Russian. In addition, 4 conlangs are also added: Star Trek's Klingon language, one of Lord of the Rings Elvish languages, Esperanto, and Lojban. Dead mobs form Skulk. Mobs killed around the 9-block radius of a Skulk crystal create a patch of Skulk and Skulk veins where they died, suggesting that these blocks are the direct result of dead mobs. Painting origins. 25 of the paintings found in Minecraft are actually edited versions of real paintings by Christopher Setterstrand. In fact, he was the one that created the Minecraft versions too. Only the Wither painting is completely original. Chick Quadruplus. There is a 1 in 256 chance for a thrown egg to spawn 4 chickens instead of just 1. Notch's Twitter. Notch occasionally uses Twitter to share highly controversial opinions on race, gender, sexuality, and even endorsing the QAnon conspiracy. Order of the Stone. After Cave Game, Notch decided to rename the game to the Minecraft Order of the Stone. Eventually, he shortened it to just Minecraft. Gas Sound Origins. C4118 confirmed that the sound of the gas cries is actually just his cat. Removed splashes. Throughout the game's history, several splash tags have been removed. Comments about the current version or price at the same time were first to go, and old pop culture references were also taken out from time to time. A splash tag saying Better and Pray, referencing the 2006 game, was also removed after the 2017 game came out. After Notch left Mojang, all splashes referring to him were removed. Zombified green blood. When zombie pigmen were first created by Xaphobia, they had red blood. This was later changed to green since Notch found it too gory. Brown mushroom. A rare variant of the regular mushroom, usually created when a red mushroom is struck by lightning. It also has a 1 in 1024 chance of being created through breeding 2 red mushrooms. Never chicken jockey. A baby zombified piglin has a 5% chance of riding a chicken when spawned, meaning each zombified piglin has a mere 0.25% chance of becoming a chicken jockey. This is the only way that chickens can spawn naturally in the Nether. Turtles drop balls. If a turtle is killed by lightning, it will drop 1 ball. And Bedrock Infiniburn. Unlike Netherrack, which can burn infinitely in all 3 dimensions, Bedrock only has the ability to burn infinitely in the end.
Void below the overworld. Right below Bedrock in the overworld is an infinite expanse of void. It mostly isn't canon in the Minecraft lore because, well, the world can only go so far. Minecraft. The title screen has a 1 in 10,000 chance of displaying Minecraft instead of Minecraft. Disc 11 and 13. Disc 11 is a broken disc with creepy audio that's way different from all the other discs. The sound at the end is theorized to be from either Enderman or simply a scratch on the disc. Disc 13 mostly contains the other half of the story, with sounds of arrows being fired as well as creeper explosion at the ends. Zombie villager conversion. Players can cure a zombie villager by feeding it a golden apple while it's under the effect of weakness. The conversion time can take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. A tutorial for this can be found underneath some igloo structures. Cured villagers can have considerable discount on their traits, as a way of saying thanks. This can be exploited. Killer Rabbit. For only a couple of snapshots in 1.8, the Killer Rabbit was added as a natural spawning mob with a 1 in 1000 chance of spawning. It was later reduced to 1 in 2500 before only being able to spawn with the summon command.
Layer 2. Lock chest. A feature added for April Fool's Day 2011 that required a Steve Co. supply crate key to open, as a reference to TF2's Man Co. supply crates. Buying these keys required going to a fake Minecraft store, a GUI which had additional Easter eggs, including a velociraptor at checkout, as well as a seizure-inducing window if you bought more than $10,000 worth of goods. How did we get here? A hidden achievement that requires you to have every obtainable status effect applied to you at the same time. Endermen are Farlanders. On July 30th, 2011, people on 4chan started petitioning for Endermen to be renamed to Farlanders instead, as a reference to the Farlands. Notch then joked that instead of calling Endermen Farlanders, the Farlands should be renamed to The End instead, and that's how the name for The End came to be. Super Duper Graphics. In E3 2017, the Super Duper Graphics pack was announced, boasting 4K HDR graphics, improved lighting, shadows, water effects and more. It was primarily geared towards non-Java platforms that didn't have the same freedom of shaders or resource packs. On August 12, 2019, Mojang announced that the pack would be ceasing development, saying that it was too ambitious and technically demanding to implement properly. Earlier that year, however, testing for a new Bedrock rendering engine was underway dubbed Render Dragon. It successfully implemented new lighting techniques, performance upgrades, and even ray tracing support, bringing in new features that were once promised. Johnny. Renaming a Vindicator to Johnny causes it to take every mob inside, with the exception of gas and other illagers. This is a reference to the Here's Johnny scene in From the Shining. Red Dragon. The Red Dragon was a planned mob that Notch intended to release alongside the Ender Dragon. However, it was never implemented, and Dinnerbone said that it may be added to an update later, though there aren't any plans to do anytime soon. Stunned Enderman. If you continue to stare at an Enderman, even after they've become angered, they'll temporarily lose the ability to move or teleport, making them easier to attack. Zombie horses. An unused zombie variant of the horse that was added to Minecraft in 1.6.1 at the same time as regular ones. Much like skeleton horses, zombie horses don't drown underwater. Green Steve. A somewhat popular creepypasta that involves a green version of Steve attacking a player in a desert temple after they noticed the TNT prop didn't go off. According to the story, a developer snuck in Green Steve into the game against the reviews of other devs. The Green Steve creepypasta led to a few spin-offs, including Red Steve, Blue Steve, and others such as El Lick and Iranib. Yeah. Missing texture block. In Java Edition, when the game detects a block with an invalid ID, their texture is replaced with a purple and black checkerboard pattern similar to Gary's mod. Prior to Java, the missing texture block was simply white with black text that said missing texture. In Bedrock, blocks are instead replaced by the info update block, a dirt block with the word update written on all 6 sides. Never ceiling. A flat expanse of land located just above the bedrock ceiling of the Nether. Though you can't break the bedrock directly, you can phase through the ceiling by throwing an ender pearl into a small gap or a stair block, or pushing a minecart via a piston into the ceiling. The lack of obstacles above the ceiling make it a great way for players to cross huge distances easily, since one block traveled in the Nether is 8 blocks in the overworld. Enchanted Golden Apple Recipe. When regular golden apples were first introduced in InfDev on February 27, 2010, they could be crafted with an apple surrounded by 8 gold blocks and gave fairly strong buffs. In Java 1.1, they were nerfed significantly and only required 8 golden nuggets to craft. In response, enchanted golden apples were added, having the original crafting recipe but giving far stronger effects. As part of the Comet update, enchanted golden apples were made uncraftable, meaning the only way to obtain them now is through structured chests throughout the world. Testificates. For a brief time in the beta 1.9 pre-release, when villagers were added, they all had the name Testificate above their heads. Post-apocalyptic future. This is a theory that Steve is the only survivor in a mutated wasteland, hence why there are so many undead creatures. Raspberry Pi edition. The Raspberry Pi is a small computer mainly used for computer science and programming. Mojang released a free version of Minecraft World with only a limited number of features, since it's based on the Alpha Pocket Edition version, as well as the player names permanently being Steve Pi. However, this version also comes with a Python programming interface, allowing players to add their own code to manipulate the game. This also meant players could edit their name in the executable to do something different. Quiver. This is an unused item that could have been used to store multiple stacks of arrows in one inventory slot. Only the texture for the item existed, and that was removed in 1.9. Super secret settings. Until 1.9, there used to be a button in the options menu that allowed you to toggle between 24 different types of filters in Minecraft. This is a 2D top-down version of Minecraft created in 2 days for the Ludum Dare in 2011. Zombies rub feathers. From February 19th, 2010 to September 9, 2011, zombies would only drop feathers. Who remembers that? That's pretty cool. The reason for this is that Notch didn't know what they should drop, and chickens wouldn't be added until July 14th. Endermites are parasites. Ender pearls may not be Enderman eyes, but rather the eggs from which Endermite larvae hatch. These Endermites may have infected humans traveling to the end for the first time, leading to the corrupted Endermen they are today. Mobs afraid of cats. Why are phantoms and creepers afraid of cats? the fuck did the cats do to them? Unused pigmen. Before villages were a thing, Minecraft user McLee suggested using pigmen to populate villages. McLee was given a bacon cave for this idea, but it was later removed after other people asked for caves too. Poor guy. Gargamel. A seed that existed from beta 1.3 to release 1.702, containing massive valleys and mountains that spawn. I remember that, that's pretty cool. It's a reference to the villain from the Smurfs. Null. A creepypasta claiming that Herobrine is someone trying to warn players about a much more dangerous threat. Entity 303. This is a creepypasta about a former Mojang employee that was fired and wanted to revenge. He recruited a team of hackers to corrupt worlds and rename files to include 303, 3D Anaglyph, an option that applied a red and blue 3D filter to the screen, allowing you to play with 3D glasses on. I remember that. I never understood it. It was removed in 1.13. MD3 models. A model format created by ID Software. Beast Boy, Steve, Black Steve, and Rana were MD3 models created by Dog, a former Mojang artist. Models from the game Quake were also added, and they look really weird. Cancelled Minecon 2014. But it was announced on March 30th, 2014 that Minecon would be held in Europe on August 21st. It would be cancelled. For unknown reasons.
Flying machines. Redstone mechanism that use pistons, slime blocks, and redstone blocks in order to create a structure that can move across the sky indefinitely. One of the most common engines used involves having a regular piston push the structure forward and having a sticky piston push a slime block backwards in order to retrieve the piston and then start the cycle over again through the use of redstone blocks. Herobrine Shrine. The structure a player could make out of a block of lit netherrack surrounded by redstone torches and gold blocks that could supposedly summon Herobrine. Undead Giants. This refers to the giant zombies that never spawn in the world. However, you can spawn them with the summon command.
Layer 3. Dragon Egg Origins. Who the fuck fucked the dragon? Oh my god. Arbalistic. This is another hidden achievement that requires you to shoot 5 unique mobs with a single crossbow shot. Hidden splash text. In the splashes.txt file, one line never shows up in the game. This message will never appear on the splash screen. Isn't that weird? Villager eye colors. Whereas most villagers and illagers have green eyes, Vindicators have blue eyes, while witches have purple eyes. The more you know. Strongholds being abandoned. Strongholds are usually built to protect against attacks, so the end portals used to be guarded and revered as a final bastion, before being seemingly abandoned. The Warden may have been a golem-esque guardian for these strongholds, due to its name, as well as its color scheme matching that of an end portal frame. The plausible theory for why these structures are abandoned is that everyone involved simply went through them to the other side. Pre-activated ender portals. In stronghold portal rooms, each end portal frame has a 10% chance of already having an Eye of Ender inserted into it, with 12 frames in all. That means each portal room has a 1 in 1 trillion chance of spawning with all 12 eyes, thus activating it without the player having to do anything. Now if you get that in a speedrun, that's crazy. Brick pyramids. A 32 block high pyramid added during InfDev to experiment with structure generation. Disk 11 spectrogram. Putting the audio of Disk 11 into a spectrogram reveals an image of Steve's head, as well as the number 12418. The number is C418's signature, since C in hexadecimal is 12. K14 spectrogram. Much like Disk 11, K14 also has an image when put through a spectrogram. This time it's the iconic creeper face. Endermen are corrupted humans. This is a theory that states that humans don't exist in the Minecraft world because they've all been turned into Endermen. The Enderman's backward speech supports this theory as well. How they became Endermen in the first place, however, is another question. Maybe they simply turned into them in the end, much like the piglins do in the overworld. PC Gamer Demo. A demo version of Beta 1.3 that was found in the June 2011 version of PC Gamer magazine. This demo was 5 in-game days long, and special features included a giant wool PC Gamer logo, a bonus chest, and a secret chest underneath spawn containing 22 gunpowder and cow textures having the PC Gamer logo on them. There was a bug that allowed the player to continue interacting with the world even after the demo by going at or above Y89. Incurable zombies. The player is able to cure zombie villagers, yet regular zombies can't be cured. Moon phase effects. Certain phases of the moon can have several effects on mobs. The frequency of slime spawning in swarms is proportional to how much of the moon can be seen. So a new moon spawns no slimes, while they spawn the most frequently during a full moon. A fuller moon also increases the chance of skeletons and zombies to pick up items and spawn with weapons and armor, as well as increasing the chances of spiders to spawn with status effects such as invisibility. Lastly, during a full moon, 50% of spawned cats will be black. More end dragons existed. Although the current end dragon is the last one of its kind, the existence of dragon heads on end chips suggests that there were more than one dragon, and that they have been hunted to a near extinction by an ancient civilization. This final ender dragon, housed within healing ender crystals, may be a last-ditch conservation effort to artificially keep the species alive. Monsters under your bed. Before Minecraft 1 though, when mobs were able to spawn in dark areas for the first time, there was a chance for a mob to suddenly spawn and wake you up before the night was over, if your bed was in an unlit area. This gave the impression that the monster popped out from under your bed, and that was intentional, because even Notch joked about this happening. Human goat screams. In a YouTube video released on the official Minecraft channel, it was revealed that the goat noises heard in game are a 50-50 mix of real goats and human voices. Giant fossil origins. Underneath desert and mesa biomes, you can find giant skeletal rib cages and bones. These may have once belonged to dinosaurs or another giant beast that used to roam the Minecraft world. Quantum chests. A single chest block can store 27 stacks of items, or 1728 items in total. Realistically, this is completely illogical. A chest can store several stacks of blocks inside of it, despite being the size of a single block. The only explanation for this is that all chests lead in some sort of infinite or finite quantum space, and ender chests may have been a result of earlier civilizations discovering this and exploiting it to have chests that share the same quantum spaces. Damage tilt is broken. Every time the player is hit in the game, the camera tilts to the left. This isn't actually intended. The camera is supposed to always tilt away from the direction the player took damage. The current system is a result of a bug introduced in 1.2.5. Horse armor recipe. For just 2 snapshots in the 1.6.1 update, horse armor could be crafted by surrounding 6 iron ingots, gold ingots, or diamonds around a block of wool. It's unknown why these recipes were removed, though one reason could be that horse armor doesn't break, so it fit better as a loot chest item. Gus firing at the camera. Prior to beta 1.7, Gas would actually shoot fireballs at the camera instead of the player, allowing them to easily avoid their attack by simply going into the third person mode. Squid milking. In Java Edition beta from 12_01 January 14th 2011 to 1.4 on March 31st, squids could be milked with an empty bucket, just like cows. Guardians are mechanical. There's a lot of things that suggest that Guardians were most likely created by some other species. They have retractable spikes that make them seem like sea mines. They're made of prismarine, they shoot lasers from their eyes, and their only purpose is to guard the ocean monuments. And those are the first 3 layers. Woo! Woo! So, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and if you wanna see part 2, where I cover the rest of this truly massive iceberg, like, subscribe, leave a comment telling me that my voice sounds like shit. See you in the next one. Bye bye.